Powerful Content Podcast, your go-to source for content creation, strategy, and business inspiration. I'm your host, Mel Daniels, content strategist, coach, and speaker, empowering women across the globe to grow their business with powerful content that connects, nurtures, and converts. So, if you're ready to create standout content that gets you noticed and remembered, or build an aligned audience who love you and are ready to buy from you, you're in the right place. I believe that content has the power to connect us all. It's up to you how you use it. Listen in for genuine and insightful chats with guests, as well as practical tools and strategies from me. It's so lovely to have you here. Let's dive into the show. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to episode 74 of the Powerful Content Podcast. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it, given all of the choices that you have out there, to be listening to this particular episode today. Now, today's topic is all about your message, not just any message, but a message that matters. And we'll talk about the difference between that in a second. But today's episode is for you if you're sick of searching for that magic formula for your message, you're feeling like you're creating content but no one is listening to you or engaging with your content, you're kind of starting to feel disheartened at the ROE. That's my version of return on investment, ROI. ROE is return on energy for your content. So you're putting so much energy into it, but not getting anything in return. You feel like you're constantly attracting the wrong type of people, and working with them is frankly a nightmare. You've got itchy feet and you feel like you could make a greater impact with the transformative work that you do. Or you've recently been through a bit of a change or up level with your business, and you really need to recalibrate when it comes to your message. So if you're feeling any of those things, I've got you covered today. When I first started my business, probably about 7 years ago now, I had no idea what a message was, or that I in fact even needed one. And when I understood that this was one of the 20 million things you need to know when you first start a business, I felt really helpless and lost and confused. Because when I started 7 years ago as a virtual assistant, I couldn't see my point of differentiation. Now I understand it's not so much about what you do, but how you do it, or why you believe that it's the right way to do it. So cue the hours of Googling, looking for gurus to follow, downloading the shiny things, attending the webinars, trying the formulas. Sound familiar? Oh my goodness, the hours I wasted trying to pin down my elusive message. It just makes me want to cry thinking about it. So that's why I'm making this episode for you today, so you don't have to waste countless hours trying to create your message as well. So first of all, I want to really pinpoint the difference between a term that we hear quite a lot and what we're talking about today. So you may have heard the term magnetic message. Now, this is very different to what I'm talking about today, and that is a message that matters. So a message is simply the way that you communicate what you do to your ideal client that draws them in, allows them to identify with you, and makes them want to work with you. Now, a magnetic message implies that you're drawing in everyone, you're trying to attract everyone, not just those who love you and are ready to buy from you. But a message that matters is so much more than this. You're giving your ideal client the opportunity to identify with you, but it's designed to land with only those who matter, with a meaning that's impactful, it's personal, and it's purposeful, and most importantly, in a way that feels good for you. See how it's not just about your ideal client and what they want to hear? It's also about you. And I always say that powerful content has two sides of the story: the who, your ideal client, and the you. So a message that matters is an idea or concept that you have. It's your thought leadership, it's what you stand for, and it's the bigger meaning of why you do what you do. So the question is, where do you start if you feel like your message is falling on deaf ears, or it just doesn't feel like the right fit for you where you are in your business right now? Well, what I want you to do is start with one of the key elements of a message that matters. We have the who, the what, and the why. So the who is obviously your ideal client. The what is the possibilities that you bring to the table, what your ideal client can be, do, or have as a result of working with you, and the why, what you believe in and why you are here doing what you're doing. So let me give you some examples of what happens when you're missing the mark, and maybe some of them or one of them may actually resonate with you, and you will know exactly whether you need to revisit your who, your what, or your why. So the first situation is you perhaps feel like what you're saying is missing the mark. So you may not be getting any engagement on social media. You may not be able to grow your email list. And this happens when you know what you stand for and are clear on all of the amazing things that can happen when people work with you. The problem is that you're not getting past first base, that's the connect phase of the client journey, because you're a little haphazard with the way that you communicate with your ideal client. In this situation, you have the why and the what. You understand why you're here and what you stand for. You know exactly how you can bring this to the world with your service, but your message isn't landing with the right people. Your ideal client is likely within your audience, as they've resonated with your values and beliefs, that's your why, but they're not standing up and taking notice because they don't realize that you're actually talking to them. They're thinking, wow, this person really knows their stuff, but I'm not sure if I should hang out here or not. So the solution here is that the who is missing from your message that matters. You need to dive deeper into your ideal client avatar, and you'll know that you've hit the mark when you feel a connection with their struggles and you feel like you really want to take them out for a coffee to help them on their own journey. If you really need help connecting to the heart of your ideal client, head on down to the show notes and download my Unboring Ideal Client Avatar. It's quicker, it's way more fun and far more effective in identifying your ideal client, but connecting with them as well. So the second problem that you may find that you have is that you have people in your audience who love you, but they're not buying from you. So this happens when you know your ideal client inside out, you've connected with them and started the client journey with them, but they can't take that leap from nurture to convert, as they're not sure exactly what they'll get if they do. So in this situation, you have the who and the why. So you're connected to who you want to become as a business owner and a content creator, and your ideal client knows that they want to become part of your community, but your ideal client is struggling to understand exactly what you can do for them. Your ideal client knows that you're talking to them and they like you because you share common values and beliefs, but they have no idea that they need to work with you, as you've not given them the possibilities of what life could be like after working with you. They're thinking to themselves, I really like this person and I want to hang out with them. But that's not what we want. We would love for them to be paying clients. So the solution here is the what. The what is missing or needs to be refined in your message that matters. You need to be super clear on the transformation or the possibilities that you provide for your ideal client and communicate this often. They need to be able to see themselves after working with you. They need to understand who they could be, what they can have in their life, and what they can do as a result of working with you. And the last problem that you may be having is that you feel maybe a little bit out of alignment with your message, or that you're just blending into the crowd and not standing out, getting noticed or remembered. Now, this happens when you know exactly who you love to work with and you can really easily identify who they are, and you have a really good understanding of what you create in their life. The problem is that you aren't bringing the you to your content. So here you have the who and you have the what. You're using your message to make that first step to connect on the client journey with your ideal client, and they've probably even subscribed to your email list. They're finding it really difficult though to be nurtured and then to convert, as they're not sure who's talking to them. Your ideal client isn't 100% buying what you're saying. You've left them confused because they can't identify with you. You're not showcasing who you are and what you stand for. They're thinking, I really want the outcome that they're saying, and I know it's for me, but I'm not sure if they're the right person to buy it from. So the solution here is to bring more you to your content. Really know your core beliefs and become so strongly connected with them that they seamlessly form part of your message that matters. And this is where 99% of messages that matter are missing the mark. I know that you're talking to me. You use antidotes or refer to things that helps me identify myself in your content. You can tell me how I'll feel once my challenge is solved. I'm loving who I'll be, what I'll be able to do and have after I work with you, but I don't know it's you that I want to buy from. If I have a choice between someone that I don't feel that I know or who I can't see my values or beliefs reflected in, then guess what? You're not going to be the one who I choose to work with. Your competitor will be who I end up working with. So if I need, let's say, a virtual assistant, then I'm looking for someone whose content shows me that their integrity or insight into how they approach their partnerships are collaborative. Do they help other women like me? Do they value connection, community, or family like me? If I need a brand strategist, I'm looking for someone who can show me not only why I need to have a strategy, but how their perspective includes something else that no one else includes in their packages. That gives me that aha moment. Otherwise, I'm just comparing you on price. And believe you me, you don't even want to go there. You don't want to be compared on price. I was having a chat with a friend recently and she was talking about how she felt like she'd lost a bit of her content mojo. We've both been in business for quite some time and she was just feeling really jaded with all the how-tos, the tips, the multiple meaningless lead magnets constantly bombarding her feed, and it was really getting her down. It wasn't inspiring her to create content for her own beautiful business. Now, I could see the shift already starting to happen with her content, but she really felt stuck. She felt like she couldn't move forward. Now, after talking to her for a while, I asked her one simple question that changed everything. And that was, what drives you crazy in your industry? So immediately I could see that the passion from this one simple question was what was missing from her desire to create content. It suddenly went from meaningless to purposeful. So we spoke more about her beliefs and quickly pinpointed the key beliefs that were the missing piece to her message. So having a message that matters, that lands with not only your ideal client, but you as well, can do wonders for your desire to create content. And that's what I want for you. So let's do a quick summary here. A message that matters is more than a magnetic one. It reflects your thought leadership and your uniqueness. If you're feeling like your message isn't landing or it feels a little bit off to you, you may be missing or need to work on the who, your ideal client, the what, the possibilities that you create in their life, or the why, your unique view of the world. And lastly, almost always, it's going to be simply understanding the why and bringing more of that to your content. Now, inside my membership, The Content Effect, I'm constantly challenging my beautiful members to lean into their core beliefs, because that's where the gold of messaging lies. That is the biggest piece of the message that matters. Now, doors are currently closed to The Content Effect, at the time of release of this podcast, but head on over to the show notes to pop your name on the wait list for some insider content and special bonuses if you want to know more about crafting a message that matters. Talk soon. Thanks so much for listening. That's it for another week. To get more powerful content in your life, make sure you're following along on socials. My handle is @MELDBusiness. And just in case you're wondering, the groovy music for this podcast was created by Just Here on SoundCloud. I'd also be super grateful if you took a moment to rate and review this podcast so more amazing women like you can experience the power of content. And if you're like, hell Mel, stop talking, I'm ready to work with you now, here's how we can work some powerful content magic together. Firstly, come and join the Content Effect, my membership inspiring women with service-based businesses to ditch the content chaos and start creating stand-out content that gets you noticed and makes sales. You can join us by using the link in the show notes or just Google the Content Effect. The second way we can work together is via my one-on-one packages. We can create a sustainable content strategy or start to build out your client journey. It's up to you. Pop on over to meldbusinessservices.com.au/services to find out more. Until next time, have a beautiful week and embrace the power of your content.